After my Randy Cunningham video, I got to pondering.
Man, I wonder if there were other shows from my childhood that others may have forgotten about.
Well, I actually did find one that I was really invested in back in the day. And it was Kick Buttowski. Oh, and Mech X4. Created at the tail end of 2016, this show revolves around a group of teenagers using a giant mech suit to fight monsters. Sounds like something young boys would eat up, and I did, like it was cereal. Let's take another look back in the past, and give Mech X4 the spotlight it hopefully needs. Our main characters are Ryan, the pilot of the titular mech, who has the power to control technology with his mind.
Man, I can do that! I want to watch Stranger Things! Wait a minute.
Spider, the stupid friend who's in charge of the weapons, and I think he's meant to be the comedy relief, but he's hilariously unfunny. Harris, who is very smart and a nerd, and he's in charge of the defense side of the operation. He also invents a bunch of stuff that seems unrealistic in this grounded show. Touche. And Mark, who is so damn cool, and the mechanic that fixes the robot, which he's somehow able to do with ease. These four are an alright team, but it's really Ryan who has the most stuff going on, which you'd hope. He's got the powers, and I will say, they do use this idea in a lot of fun and unique ways. Like, look, he's taking down missiles. Can Goku do that? No, Ryan Mech X4 is stronger than Goku. Some of the other characters we have are Principal Grey, who is presented as the villain of the show, and is the one who sends these monsters. She's working for a secret boss, and is also a ninja. And there's also Seth Harper, who is a rich and famous CEO of a tech company.
Gee whiz, I hope he's not the mysterious bad guy.
And then there's Leo, who is the creator of the robot. That is literally all the reoccurring side characters we get. There are a few one-off characters, but Wet Cardboard is more interesting than them. Yeah, there isn't much else to say about the characters because none of them are very interesting. Now, what actually happened throughout the season? Well, the main idea I thought I was getting myself into was that each episode would have a monster appear and the team would have to figure out how to defeat it.
But boy, I was wrong. I was so wrong. It was better than I thought.
There's actually a serialized story, which I don't remember being the case. We watch as our main characters must figure out a bunch of little mysteries to uncover what the fuck is going on. Who's sending the monsters? Where is this Leo fella? Why does Ryan have these powers? And who is this big boss? All of these elements actually weave into one another, and it makes the payoff by the end feel substantial.
This is a Disney XD show. Why am I enjoying this so much?
While all this big plot stuff is going down, there are some slower episodes, but are still important with smaller details returning. Like in an episode with Ryan entering a skateboarding competition. He finds these anti-gravity disc things, which he uses to cheat. These things come up so many times afterwards, which I wasn't expecting. There's also Harris's little monster mode, which is used again in the final episode, as well as these drones that were found in an older model of the robot. Also, off topic, the CGI in this show is actually not terrible. Like, it's not amazing or anything, but it's done decently. In a Disney XD show.
Why am I enjoying this so much?
This show managed to get my lizard brain's attention, but it isn't perfect. I can't stress enough how unfunny the show is. I mentioned it before, but Spider is meant to be the funny one, but every joke he says just makes me want to rip my spine out of my body. I hate Spider. All my homies hate Spider. He's mostly what I dislike about this whole show. And there's also the fact that in a show about a robot fighting monsters, there's only like 3 or 4 monsters. Oh my god, look at these sets! They go pretty crazy actually. Who the hell cooked here? It's mainly the inside of the robot, but there's a lot of other great locations. I do also appreciate that Ryan pretty much already has his powers, so we don't have to waste time with him figuring them out. Actually, that whole first episode felt really rushed. We were introduced to all the main characters, Ryan's powers, and the robot in the first 5 minutes. It's just too quick of an introduction, so nothing can really settle. Luckily, the rest of the show takes its time. Oh, I almost forgot to mention the different things the robot can do. It can turn invisible, can punch really hard, has a big fuck off laser, and an axe hand. Big deal, I know someone with an axe hand. Hello, my name is Axel, and I have a burning question to axe you. Do you like my Australian accent? I'm about to climax. The season ends with Seth Harper fighting Mech X4 by controlling a monster, which looks pretty cool, I'd say. He wants to wipe the Earth clean so it can thrive. A plan Thanos would shamelessly steal 2 years later. They stop Harper's evil missile and fucking obliterate him. But what's that coming out of the ooze? Let's find out. I'm glad to report that Season 2 is a bit of an improvement over the first one. There was a lot more going on this time around. and since it's the final season, it had a pretty final feeling to it. The plot in this season has our heroes fighting against Clifford the Big Red Dog as he tries to take over the world. What a unique plan for an evil guy to have. Right, Baby Yoda? Now you've probably put together that Traeger here is the hand we saw in season 1's massive cliffhanger that had you on the edge of your seat. He came to be when Harper's DNA got mixed with the red ooze from his monster. So the two are pretty much brothers. This was an idea I thought would get a fair bit of build up, but no. It's revealed in like the next episode. There's actually a few instances where some plot points could have been built up a little bit better. Like Grey didn't die last season and shows up again collecting ooze. This could have been a fun mystery for Ryan and friends to figure out, but we find out at the end of the same episode that she's working for someone. Ryan finding his birth parents as well is pretty underwhelming. I wouldn't have minded if the whole season built up to this while also dealing with Traeger, but Ryan wants to find them and then he does the next episode. I will say I was really interested in Ryan's parents and there being a whole village about people who are allergic to technology. This is thanks to Leo's technopath experiments, which is how these people came to be. Ryan's dad jumps his ass and forces him to cure him, which Leo does thanks to Ryan's help. I thought these people wouldn't be relevant again, but they actually play a big part in the finale. Leo joins the main cast to help build new stuff for the robot and repair it when Ryan damages it, which happens a lot, pretty much fulfilling Mark's role. I honestly love Leo. He's so lol random, and he's the only part of this show I found funny.
You'd be surprised what people throw away. You know, just last week I found a blender in an alley. You know what I can make with that?
A new weapon.
No. Juice!
Veracity also joins the team. What a weird name.
What up? It's me, Velocity. Ooh. What up? It's me, Varsity.
Wait, you don't remember Veracity? She was a one-off character in the first season that had this rivalry with Harris. I also didn't mention her. She's pretty much just a girl Harris, as she creates new things for the robot and repairs it when it's damaged. Wait a minute. Finally, Seth Harper also returns. Does anyone stay dead? Ah! He joins Mech X4 at this point to create new things for the robot and repair it when it's damaged. Are you serious? I'm not even joking. 5 out of the 7 people do the same damn thing. Oh, sorry. Mark doesn't build new things for the robot, so he's even more useless. This is quite dumb, but lucky for us, Harper goes to work with Traeger, and Leo gets completely written out of the season. One episode has the team trying to figure out who out of the 5 of them planted this bomb on the robot. They each take turns explaining where they were and what they were doing. An idea among us would steal 4 years later. The only person it could have been is Leo, and he makes a quick escape, but ruh-roh, plot twist, it was Harris, who is now being controlled by Traeger. So they got rid of Leo for no reason, and he doesn't even come back. He's gone. Harris gets a lot more to do in this season, as he spends half of it working for Traeger. He adopts this cool guy persona, which is an idea Spider-Man 3 would steal 10 years before. Actually, a lot of the characters get stuff to do. Ryan has his whole birth parent thing, Harper is constantly switching sides, Leo has to face some demons from his past, Mark gets kicked off the team, and Spider is still unfunny and gets nothing to do. He adds literally nothing. Would not be upset if he dies, that's all I'm saying. You can tell how much I dislike this because I wrote it 3 separate times in my notes. What I thought they were hinting at was Veracity and Spider becoming a thing, as that would subvert our expectations and give the twerp a shred of purpose. Let's rewind back to Mark getting kicked off the team. While Harris is in his villain arc, Ryan and Mark have 2 different approaches with him. Ryan wants to keep Harris prisoner until they can find a cure for him, while Mark wants to use him for information and releases Harris so they can follow him back to Traeger. This plan backfires and causes the 2 brothers to have a falling out, and Mark is booted. I think this is done fairly well, as both sides seem fair, and none of them are presented as the objectively wrong answer.
Why am I enjoying this?
Okay, time for some nitpicking. The teens go to a new school since they blew up their last one, but there's only 2 episodes where this is relevant and never again. This big scary fan almost chops Mark up, if only there was someone with technology powers. At the end of the first episode, they give us a little preview of the season, which spoils a few big things. They make a point to tell us that Leo helped Harper create the monsters because he wanted to give humanity something to unite against, which is a stupid reason. And this doesn't even go anywhere. Ryan's mum finding out about Mech X4 feels a little repetitive, as this kind of already happened last season. And finally, look how disgusting this looks. It's coming! Here, have a sock. Don't get me wrong, there is still stuff I enjoyed about the season. I enjoyed the final episode's battle in space, and the robot being destroyed was a little sad, I guess. But it capped the season off really well. Traeger's done for, and the world is saved. Too bad the kids are stuck in space. Mech X4 was a surprisingly pleasant watch. It's not the best show, even on Disney XD, but I'm amazed that it could activate my lizard brain and allow me to enjoy it. It's got a lot of problems, but who cares, it's a show from 8 years ago. Now I need to make sure Baby Yoda's dead. Oh no. I'm sure that's nothing. What could possibly go wrong?